Good morning, y'all. Welcome to the LOL podcast. My name is Jalen Jaleisha, and you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Jalen_Jaleisha. So, on today's podcast, I am actually going to I have notes, so I'm not going to be coming from the dome today. So, my notes are why is dating bad? So, I was just on TikTok, doing my morning scroll after I did my meditation and everything. And I was seeing people just like every other video is complaining about why women are single, why men are single, what's going on, blah, 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 blah. Okay, maybe no one else has noticed this, but I'm sure a lot of people have noticed this, especially if you're like, you work in the mental health field, of course. But if you want to figure out why dating sucks for you, I'm going to tell you. It's going to be clear as day. And this is for men and women, okay? Dating sucks because we have all been traumatized by the people that say they love us. We have all been traumatized by people who say they're going to be there for us, but don't actually show up for us when we need them there. It has caused such a divide in our society that they have been doing this for years and years and years. Before even our generation of Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, they were doing this shit too. But it's at a point now to where you cannot look away from it. And it's clearly to see that men have been under attack by them damn selves. No, women aren't attacking them, but it's themselves that are attacking themselves from the outside. But at the same time, I am going to talk about the male aspect and the female aspect of it, and how this divide of genders has really affected the dating pool and affected children and affected, because it's done wonders. So when I say that we've all been traumatized by people that say they will show up for us, they'll be there for us, that they would do something for us, sometimes it is apparent. Majority of the time it is apparent. But if you weren't raised by your parent, then it was people around you, or it could have been friends, it could have been your own sibling as well, that could have in some type of way neglected you or made you feel like you were abandoned. I will say this, majority of men have been emotionally and mentally neglected throughout their childhood. So as adult men, they think it's completely normal not to even have an emotional side or to have a mental side at all. But then they realize they have all these big feelings and they have nowhere to place them, or they don't know what to do with them. They were never taught how to manage their own feelings. And that is the problem of older men. That is not a women issue, because if women are teaching little boys how to feel their feelings, they're going to teach them how to feel it from a feminine standpoint, which isn't anything wrong, because you need a balance of feminine and masculine in you. Everybody does. We are both feminine and masculine. But why I say that is because, like, I would say my dad's generation, the generation before him, like my grandpa's generation, I think he's a part of the silent generation. My grandpa was a good dad, like, apparently. But I mean, he's a good grandpa, so I don't know. My dad and my auntie think he's pretty great, and I do too. But he was a good dad. My dad was a pretty good dad, but I'm pretty sure there was a lot of emotional neglect there. I'm pretty sure that my grandpa did not talk to my dad about his feelings or how to control his feelings or anything like that. Because even me growing up with my dad, and how my dad has all girls, so he would talk to his girls as if he was talking like his dad was talking to him. It's okay, get up, rub some dirt in. And my dad has a sister too, so I don't know, but I don't know how she was treated differently than him or anything like that. But that was how my dad raised me. It's like, it's okay, get up, rub some dirt in, you'll be okay, walk it off, you'll be all right. That's how I was raised. So there was never any, like, he would come over and he would like give me a hug and be like, it's okay, stop crying. Like, there was no emotional, like, when a woman sees a kid fall, they're like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Are you all right? Is your knee okay? Oh, you need somebody to kiss it? There you go. Because that's emotional support. Men aren't built to have that. So when you don't get that from the man that you're in a relationship with, that's why. Because they weren't built to have that. Period, point blank. That is why dating is hard. Because men don't operate from an emotional standpoint. They operate from a logical standpoint. They don't know how to, they feel the feelings. They feel emotional. They probably cry a lot. Like a lot. A lot of men cry a lot. They just don't want to say that shit. But Like, they probably feel their feelings a lot and don't feel like they have a safe space to open up and be themselves. That's their own damn problem. That's the problem they have to have with the generation before them that was supposed to teach them that, and the generation before them that was supposed to teach them that. They didn't teach them that at all. Emotional regulation is something that your parents are supposed to pass on to you, but instead they didn't learn emotional regulation. They learned emotional deregulation, because I'm pretty sure, hey, in my black ass household, everybody's emotions was okay. When I tell you, everybody has their own thing, their own, they're on their own one. And when you got a lot of people in the household, 5 people in the household, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of stuff. So now with women, and I can go based off how I was raised, but basically women were raised to be overcompensators. I can say that we were neglected on a, how can I say this? I would say, because being a woman is kind of different, because there is neglect there, but we were taught how to manage our emotions and when to deal with them and when not to deal with them. And that's mostly like, feelings are for private, you're allowed to feel your feelings, it's okay. And like, the thing is, like, somebody said on TikTok, I'm gonna get off topic real quick and go back to men, that nobody said that crying was girly or feminine until a man said that men can cry, and stuff like that. And so the only way that, as a kid, that I was able to get my feelings out was to cry. And even when I would cry, my family would be like, stop all that crying, all you doing is crying, all you do is cry. And it's just like, I would feel like every time I wanted to cry, I felt like I couldn't cry in front of people because they would call me a crybaby because I was always crying. I'm a very emotional kid. Like, I'm a very emotional person. I feel everything. I'm an empath, bitch. Like, I feel everything. So I feel like when it comes to women's feelings, I feel like it's not acknowledged. Like, it's acknowledged, but it's not like taken, because, like, how can I say this? America has or it's just like a human thing, and it's like, it really needs to stop. There is no empathy, I think, for people who are just like going through it. People are just like, "Oh, you're fine." Anyway, moving on. That's not normal. Just to let you know that. That is very narcissistic. I'm just letting you know that if you do that to people, you have some narcissistic tendencies. I'm not going to call you a narcissist, but you have narcissistic tendencies, because to sit there and see somebody cry and not have feelings about it, you're a narcissist. Like, I'm not crying. Like, I'm not kidding. Because somebody having emotions and showing those emotions usually make people in the room move. But people who don't experience those emotions, narcissists, won't move. So that's why there are a lot of covert female narcissist mothers out there. And like, why women have such body shame issues and how they were physically neglected, meaning not really neglected, but under a scope. Because if we weren't like literally a perfect, like, this is my magnifying glass because I don't have a magnifying glass, but like it's like a perfect, like, they're looking at every aspect from, like, I want to feel like age 10, 12, they like going through and trying to make sure that you're groomed to be good enough for a man. And my thing is, all these women were groomed to be good enough for a man, but these men weren't groomed at all to be good enough for women. Women were built to serve men for what reason? I'm sorry, I'm not serving a man that ain't doing shit for me. Excuse me, I'm not. Nah, I'm not even sorry about that shit. I'm saying that with my chest. So that is why dating is bad, because we have been traumatized, neglected, abused, mistreated by people. And instead of facing those things and realizing that the people that are entering your life now, they would only show up like that if you allow it, because that's your mindset, is that people who come into your life are going to treat you just like that, or that you're operating from an old mindset of that you don't even know about, because I didn't even think I knew about it. Like, my situation, I thought that, oh, there's no way I will date anybody like my mom or my dad. Like, there's no way. I'm dating people totally different. Like, the person, no, I was dating the same exact people. I was still attracting narcissists in, because I was still being a people pleaser. I was still being like a servant in a way. And because that's what a people pleaser is. That's somebody who has been abused by like severe narcissism a lot by their life. It's a form of slavery. It's a form of servitude. So when you get out of that servitude mindset, that slave mindset, and it's sad to say it, but that's what it is. and you realize, and you like, I went out on a date and I was just like, I don't have to tell you everything. Like, because I felt like when I was younger, like telling my story, telling like what happened to me as a kid was just a part of who I am. Like, that's my story. You're supposed to share that. I didn't know you're not supposed to do that. So on my last date that I went on, I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm not about to trauma dump on you, because I don't want you to see people in different aspects. I don't want you to see, not saying I didn't want him to see me in that aspect, but like if we would have went further and he was to meet like people in my family, I don't want his viewpoint to change, because I know people gonna have their own, opinions when they do meet people, but I'm just like, I don't want it to be my own, interpretation of what it is. So I was just like, and plus I don't want to trauma dump on anybody else anymore. And I'm not trauma bonding with nobody ever again in my life, because that's how I got up into situations. Because familiarity, literally, when things feel familiar to you, girl, that's when things get scary. Okay. And that's what I was looking for, pieces of familiar, can't say it right now. I was looking for familiar traits in people that I didn't even realize I was looking for. And so, like, I even said this the other day. I think I said it last night. I said, I think I might even have to change my type all the way again. Because when I went on the date with the guy, like, he was, like, I manifested what exactly I wanted, and I got it. And I was just like, I got everything I wanted. Like, he's here now. Like, we're together. Like, yeah, like, this is it. But then I was just like, this isn't what I wanted, though. Like, this is like all the things, characteristics that I wanted, but this isn't the way I wanted. Like how I was being treated. Like, I'm gonna be woman enough, and I'm gonna be vulnerable with y'all right here, because you know what? That's what the LOL podcast is all about. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and like this podcast right now, and subscribe to my channel, please and thank you, so you can keep coming back and watching. But yeah, like, being vulnerable, I really did like him a lot. And we were telling each other we liked each other, but I assumed he was love bombing me. But at the same time, I'm that amazing. I think I should. Of course you're going to fall in love with me the first time you meet me. Of course you are. That's the effect I have on everybody, okay? So, yeah, I'm not surprised by that. But, like, he did tell me in the beginning, he was like, yeah, I've gotten accused of being a love bomber. I'm like, okay, yeah, you are a love bomber. But I did like him, and I knew he was a love bomber, and I didn't fall all the way for it, but I was like, okay, I do like you. And being vulnerable with y'all, not saying I played myself, but like we had a good first date. Second date was all right. And then like after that, he texted me, and then he didn't text me again. He just pulled all the way back. And I was just like, and I did reach out to him, because I'm a normal fucking person, and I'm not trying to play with nobody like a normal person does. Because this is the thing. Y'all like to play this dumbass game of, oh, my phone's not in my hand all the time, like it is. Yes, the fuck it is. Text people back. Stop being weird. Sometimes I forget because I have ADHD. But, yeah, I texted him. I was like, hey, come over. Like, let's hang out, I don't usually invite people to my house. But I was like, you know what? I like him. I'm going to invite him over, And he didn't text back until the next day, and was just like, I just saw this. And I said, okay, block. And I blocked him because I knew exactly what he was doing. And the way I knew exactly what he was doing, he was repeating a pattern that I had seen several times before from other people in my life that wanted me to chase them, and I'm not chasing them. And so this other guy that I talked to, and I met him like 2 years ago, and then we never like met up in person. And so he was like, we never hung out. And I was like, okay, yeah, like DM me on Instagram. And he DM'd me and everything. He's like, when we gonna go eat? And I was like, are you free this weekend? Never texted me back. And I'm just like, yo, these are, and this is the thing, that how your reality molds you. And it was just like, yo, these men want me to chase them, and I am no longer interested in chasing when it comes to dating. And I'm not interested in because that's the thing, that's what men do. They try to conquer women instead of trying to connect with women. And the thing is, women try to connect with men, but they don't want to be connected to. They don't see women as connections. They see them as mothers, as people who are going to take care of them. Not all men, because there are good men out there that recognize and realize that women are really good and are here to be connected to, and connected to the divine, and that a woman will make you richer. When you have a good woman by your side, your money will be long, and it will come to you like really quickly and easily all the time. And so it's just like, these men wanting me to chase them. In my past, because I used to be a people pleaser, I can admit to that. I'm being extremely vulnerable with y'all, because that's the whole point of this podcast, is to be vulnerable and to let you know that, hey, I've made these mistakes before. It's okay. You're not getting played. They're playing them damn selves. And how I always look at it is, if you think that you found an insecurity in me and you were going to try to use it to your advantage, you're not. I genuinely, and this is my thing, this is how I operate, and I need everybody to know this, because there are people out here who genuinely operate in this world just like I do. I genuinely enjoy getting to know people. I genuinely go into situations not expecting anything out of it. I genuinely make friendships with people, not expecting to take anything from them, not trying to observe them, not trying to size them up. Y'all are just people to me. I am just existing in my own world. I am not caught up in what other people got going on. I'm being a normal fucking person. And so when they say neurotypicals are normal, and I'm just like, no, the fuck they're not. Normal people don't do weird shit like this. Normal people are direct, decisive, and know exactly what the fuck they want. Do you get that? They don't hide behind their bush. They don't take a long time they don't pull back. They don't do any of that shit. So when a man thinks that it's okay to pull at you and try to make you feel insecure and try to make sure that they pull you all the way down low so then you're on their level, make sure you tell them, fuck you, okay? And go back up to your level. Okay? Because the thing is, a man will always try it. That man told me, the first man that I said that we went on 2 dates, he told me on the second date, he said he's going to always try it. He will always try to push it. He literally told me that. So if he told me that verbatim out of his fucking mouth, that he's going to always try it, what do you think the rest of these men are doing? They're going to always try it. So you need to show them that trying it won't get your attention. Some women, insecure women, I'm not going to lie, I used to be one of them. I'm not going to lie, I'm not one anymore, thank God. But insecure women will give in. And there's a lot of reasons why. And I'll say the one reason why I always used to give in. The reason I always used to give in is because I didn't feel love from my family. I did not. I was like, literally, I did not see love from my family. So I went into dating wanting to feel love. And my ex-husband, I would say this, hands down, appreciate this man for this aspect of our relationship. But I feel like he was the only person in my whole entire life to truly love me. Genuinely, like, love me. Even though he did cheat and he did that, I still feel like at the bottom of my heart, that man genuinely still loved me more than anybody else in my life has. And that's horrible to say, but at the same time, I did not experience love from my family. I experienced acceptance. And that's what, like, your family doesn't understand, because they'll make you feel bad about it too. They'll make you feel like, what? I did love you. I did take care of you. I did this and I did that. But do you know how much, like, you neglected me? You weren't aware of me. You didn't pay attention to me, like, and stuff like that. So that's why I say it is so important. Vulnerability is an adult. Being, like, literally, you gotta be a big ass fucking adult to be vulnerable. I just want us to realize that there are people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s that are still dating like fucking teenagers, that are having these same exact issues but with old ass men. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. Bitch, if I can, I'm gonna get this generation together, okay? I'm gonna get this shit together. So when you see men acting the way they are, no, it's nothing personal. If you don't know that, no, it's nothing personal. If they are acting the way they are acting, you need to go inside and see what's going on within you. Because all I see is blame, 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 blame. A lot of women blaming men this, blaming men that, hate a man this, hate a man that. Grow the fuck up. Start blaming yourself. Why do you keep choosing the same exact men over and over again? There's your pattern. Look at yourself. Same with men. Why do you keep going after the same women that you know that you can't have? Why do you keep choosing women that are above what the fuck you got going on? Why do you keep choosing people that you know that you're lying to? Why do you keep pretending? Why do you keep faking your own personality? Because you're not comfortable in your own body. You don't know who you are. Say your truth. Be vulnerable. There are people in their 40s and 50s, y'all, that don't know who the fuck they are. I don't think y'all really get it. They don't know. They've been on this earth for fucking 40, 50 fucking years, and they still don't know who the fuck they are. They just now figuring this shit out. And you telling me at 26 I'm figuring this shit out now? And you got an extra 30 fucking years on me? And you don't know how to figure this shit out? Fuck you, okay? So what I want to say is, like, both genders have been emotionally and mentally and even physically, like, neglected, which has caused intimacy issues within the dating environment that we're having now. And intimacy, not even saying like sensual or sexual or like, you know, touch or anything, but like emotional intimacy. Like, people need to feel vulnerable. It is safe to feel vulnerable, but everybody's just on high alert because everybody is just like, oh, well, they're going to hurt me. They're going to hurt me. They're going to hurt me. And I gotta put my hands up. I have to put my hands up because I can admit that for the long time of my life, I hid myself. And I hid myself not because like because it was safer, but also because I got hidden by my family. And what I mean in this way is like my light wasn't able to shine as bright as it does shine. And I was stopping it my damn self too, because I was so worried about what if people see my light and they try to take it from me. People would get jealous and they would try to take it from me. Because in my life, it has, more in my childhood, more with my parents, more with my mom. Like, anytime I try to shine, anytime I just try to be me and do, you know, on my own path, doing my own thing, then there's somebody out here trying to do the same exact thing or trying to take the light away from me. So it was always better for me to be quiet and for me to be in the background and for me not to say anything and for me to just make myself small. But my thing is this. I decided last night that I am no longer going to hide who I am. I'm no longer going to hide my light. I'm no longer going to just believe that, oh, if I shine so bright, people are going to hurt. I believe if I shine so bright, people are going to protect me now. So that's why I'm on here, and that's why I have a structure, and that's why this video is probably making a lot more sense than the first two did, because this one has structure. This one makes a lot of sense to me. This one feels personal, but it also feels like something that it was meant to get out today. So if you like this conversation, because this is the end of the podcast, because I'm going to try to keep it under 25 minutes each one, because the uploads take a minute to upload, y'all. But if you really enjoyed this podcast, please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure that you are following me on Instagram and TikTok to stay up to date with any other information or posts that I make, not information. But yeah, like, hopefully this makes people think about intimacy and emotional intimacy, I may say, and what they have been neglecting in themselves, how they have to go back and reflect within themselves about what they have been neglected, and how that would benefit them now to no longer neglect themselves, but put effort into themselves, put work into themselves, and see how they can improve themselves. Shout out to the men that are improving themselves and doing the best things they are to become a good partner to their wives, because they're doing the work, to their future wives if they're not even married yet, because there's a lot of men I see out here who are preparing themselves for a good woman. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the women that are taking care of themselves and removing themselves from the people pleasing tendencies and from just accepting anyone and everyone. Shout out to y'all, for real. Y'all are doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Come back for the next video this week. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to try to get 2 podcasts out in a week. And hopefully y'all like it. But thanks for watching. Bye.